Eisenberg is in front of me, and I like Howard. We're living on the same block for a long time, and he's been a writer for a long time. Howard, how are you today?
I don't usually do interviews at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I would say that 5 minutes from now I may be more alert.
And we just got some coffee here. We're at Nice Metan on the 79th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. We're in Upper West Siders, and we wanted to make sure we got this interview in as soon as we could because his book is coming out, Adorable Scoundrels, and he's been writing for a long time. When did you start professionally? Well, how'd you get your first gig?
My first gig was in World War II. When the war ended, I was in Germany in a barracks that formerly had been an SS barracks, and we had nothing to do except sit around. No more enemies to chase, and the captain wanted to raise morale, so he looked through everybody's files, and he saw that I had 2 years of college. So he said, "Eisenberg, you got to write a newspaper." So there was a mimeograph machine there, and I started interviewing the guys. It was fun, and I only got 2 issues out of The Rifleman when I was called to go to Corps headquarters to write for the division newspaper, the American Traveler, and that's really when my writing started.
They made a TV show called The Rifleman, I think. You didn't have anything to do with that. You did some TV too, right?
I worked with Eddie Fisher when he was just starting. I met him up at Grossinger's, and he was 18 years, just short of 18 years old, and he was to open at the Copa Cabana. This is real history. It's like
no, it's good history. We're having our senior event, which I'll talk about later, Embracing Technology for the Future of Seniors, and we're having our party at John's, who is our friends, Copa Cabana, and I have a party at the Copa almost every Tuesday.
Okay.
No, Copa's still alive and well.
Wow. Well, anyway, so I met Eddie, and he opened at the Copa when he was the age of 18, and then I was asked to be his publicist. I had already been, I had a degree in journalism, and I went to work for a Broadway company called, wow, it was so long ago, Paul, Weber and O'Rourke, and they wrote columns for Walter Winchell and Earl Wilson and all the people of the day, the journalists of the day, and in return they would get a plug for their clients. And I remember one of the plugs they got said that Charlie Parker at Bop City actually has blown his trumpet or whatever it was. It's solid gold.
Okay.
And of course it couldn't possibly. He wouldn't be able to lift it. But those are the days when publicity was whatever you wanted to say.
Howard, the lots of good things here, and I think I'm so excited just because we've been neighbors. And
for how many years?
And I'm living here 35 years.
I'm here 31.
All righty. No, I'm sorry. 30 years I've been living here.
Oh, we got here about the same time.
I was here when this corner over here was abandoned. Right? Remember those days?
Yes.
And they're selling drugs from one side to the other side, and it was a tough time.
Smoke.
Yeah. Where were you born?
Well, I was actually born in Manhattan, but my family lived in New Jersey. They wanted to come over to a hospital they could trust, and but that was a hell of a long 89 years ago.
So 89, we were a youngster here. But talking about youngster, Guess Who's Zoo, Adorable Scoundrels. Tell us about your books now. I mean, I guess it was a few years in between the Army and now. But let's talk about the books because as a grandpa myself, I'm interested in your books.
Well, I only got into children's books after my wife. Well, perhaps before she left me to go upstairs. We wrote together for about 40 years, writing from major magazines, Saturday Evening Post and Reader's Digest and Cosmopolitan and McCall's and Ladies' Home Journal and Sports Illustrated. And we had a great career. And we did a piece for Parade and about a doctor who showed his patients how to take care of themselves in many respects. So when Parade magazine came out on Sunday, and on Monday we had 3 offers from publishers. And so we wrote a book called How to Be Your Own Doctor Sometimes. And that led us into books. And I was kind of nervous about the whole idea because I had never even thought about writing a book at that point. And then I thought, well, what's a book? It's maybe a dozen articles. So, hey, I can write a dozen articles. And so we wrote the book, and it did very well. Got on the Johnny Carson show, and that moved on to How to Be Your Own Lawyer Sometimes because my next-door neighbor kept bugging me. I used to fall asleep at my typewriter. Some of the stuff was boring.
Remember we used to have, I'll just throw it in there, this is like memorabilia, Upper West Side, Gavin Typewriters, right on the corner over here.
Oh, I remember them. Yeah.
Typewriter store.
Right.
Okay, and now we have to, no one knows what a typewriter is.
I was a patron. I still use my SmithCorona-matic to type envelopes. I never figured out how to do it on a computer.
I don't think I figured it out yet either. I use handwriting. So tell us about this upcoming book right here, right now.
Okay. Well, I should go just as a bridge.
Okay,
just wanna
please.
say that
Go ahead. You're the writer, so you're more logical than I. I just finished the book, but if I didn't have help doing that, my stream of consciousness would be off the charts, and so some people tried to control me.
Well, I'm not going to attempt to do that.
You see, you know your customers.
Right. No, we wrote 4 or 5. I've written 6 books altogether. 4 of them with Arlene, and 2 myself since she died. One of them was a lot of fun, and we're turning it into a one-man show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the book's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Cooperstown. It's about a southpaw pitcher from the Boston Red Sox, Mickey McDermott. And I did that book about 5 years ago, and now I've got Jack Mulcahy, who's a very successful actor, wants to do we've already got the script. We'll have a reading in about a month. First reading. Anyway, we're having fun.
That sounds wonderful. Forget about that forum.
Oh, yeah, and I did a musical, which is, we had the second reading last October, and I'm waiting for a theater in Connecticut to decide if they want to produce it. So I'm just having a hell of a good time.
Almighty, you're this 89, you're still pumping it out.
Yeah, I am. But right now, what I've been doing is working with children's books because Arlene was kidnapped by my daughter to write What to Expect When You're Expecting, which at this point has sold so many million copies that I can't really keep track. And we became the classic for it pushed Dr. Spock off the shelf, and Arlene and I continued to write together, but she basically became the What to Expect lady, and so I moved on to write some books by myself. And right now, it moved into children's books.
How long were you married?
48 years, but there were 2 years when I first met her at 16. She came to the Paramount Theater where Eddie Fisher was doing his first big gig, and her mother had heard him on the radio, and fortuitously they canceled a trip to Washington to see the cherry blossoms to see Eddie, and I came walking down the street eating a peach because I hadn't had time for lunch, and there was Arlene with her mother and 4 or 5 other people waiting at the stage door. And I asked her if she would start a fan club. and she was going to Hunter High School, where the kids believe in don't believe in fan clubs. They believe in studying. So she said no, but she appeared to be attracted to me. Thank God.
At 16?
At 16. Well, I was 24. A man about town. I think her mother worried about that.
I'm sure she did.
So she volunteered. She started coming to our office to help me with the fan clubs we had, and pretty soon she was taking charge of all of them, and it became thousands of fan clubs. And so for 2 years, we were very close, closely working together, and I would take her out for pizza. But she was what is known in those days as jailbait, so I didn't want to mess around. But we gradually grew more, I don't want to say intimate, but she invited me to her prom, and I was the only one who was not served liquor. All these 17 and 18-year-olds were served, but they wanted my ID. I was so insulted that I had a ginger ale. Okay. Anyway, we fell in love, and I married.
The rest is history.
Got married. So that we had 48 years after the first 2 years, and I've been working fitfully on a memoir called A Typewriter Built for Two. My 50 years with the woman who co-wrote the Bible, which is what expecting has become.
Wow, beautiful. So guess who's Zoo? What are we talking about here? What is the Zoo? Who's this guy?
Okay, well, let me just... There are 3 books now. One is the Guess Who Zoo, one is Guess Who Farm, and one is the Guess Who Neighborhood. And if I may, I'll just read the beginning of it.
Yeah, go ahead. And audience, you're upside down here, but just stand up. Oh, okay, it's all right. Well, now you're not upside down, but that monkey is. A monkey can be upside down and make it happen. Oh, should we? All right, go ahead.
Okay. The zookeeper was fast asleep. He woke up in a stew. Good heavens, someone stole my keys. How can I guard my zoo? He spied a note attached nearby, tacked there upon a tree. I took your keys and freed my friends. It was signed the monkey. A postscript followed, and it said, we like this zoo the best, but we will not return until all of our names have been guessed. So will you do this for us? An impatient lion roared. We really need some fun. We're all kind of bored. The monkey called down from the tree. Please play our guessing games. Said Zookeeper, that's silly. I already know your names. The monkey paused. You're right, he said. But children love to play. Ask them to do the guessing. You'll get back your keys today. Okay, said Zookeeper. Kids, please take center stage. Get ready to start guessing. It's time to turn the page. And then all the poems are, there's a clue in every line. The Zookeeper says, are you ready to start? And I'll just read one of them. I'll read the shortest one, if I can find it. Well, I'll read two. Okay.
You enjoy this?
I do. I love it. I love to. We had a Guess Who's Zoo troupe, which did hundreds of birthday parties and appeared at the Museum of Natural History and all the children's museums. I finally discontinued that because I don't know how to ask for money. I lost more than I took in because I had to pay the performers. Anyway, just wanted to
seem to have the similar problems.
This is the way the thing works. I sun myself upon the rocks. I wear no shoes. I need no socks. The only school I ever see is a school of fish. That's lunch for me. My furry skin so warm it said that I can make icebergs my bed. The circus puts me in its shows to spin beach balls upon my nose. Grown-ups applaud. Children cheer when I do backflips on my ear. For me, though, it is no big deal. It's it's really easy for a... You think you can guess that?
No. How about you out there? Can you guess that?
Seal.
This is all good. Adorable Scoundrels.
Now this is the book that is just coming out.
The answer will be in the written text that's going to go along with this interview.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of animals. There's an elephant and a crocodile and everything. You know, a kangaroo, etc. Anyway, Adorable Scoundrels is coming out because I just love to do poetry. I do light verse. I've been doing it for all my life. So, the woman who illustrated this book has 2 3-year-olds of her own. So, the kind of stuff is kind of adorable.
Beautiful. What a great figure.
And I have it dedicated to Arlene. I don't know if you can see this, but it says, for Arlene, who never knew a toddler she didn't love. So it's a treasury of toddler poems, and some of them are like this one. Here's a picture of a mother holding a stroller, pushing a stroller, and holding her toddler. It's called Holding Pattern. Why am I pushing this stroller? Holding my toddler. Looking harried. I had no idea when I bought it. She'd prefer to be carried.
Read me one more here.
Okay, well, this one is based on my assistant's granddaughter, who just look here. Digitally speaking.
Oh, this is very good, very good.
What was our toddler's first word? Nope, neither mommy nor dad. She pointed and proudly proclaimed, iPad. This actually happened.
This is very. I want you to say this in front of. We were asking all these CEOs of all these major technology companies, and it's going to be at Microsoft May 24th. I would like for you to read from that book and say that because we're using. Here's the thing: embracing technology for the future generations of seniors. Okay, and we all know that seniors have children, and children and have children. Those are that grandchild that book's all about, which is all about what this book, I imagine, means to you. Do you have grandchildren?
I've got 6 grandchildren who are now no longer little toddlers. They're all in their, well, they're in their 20s and just about to hit 30. But I also now have a great grandchild. He's 2 years old, and he's the son of my daughter Heidi, who is actually wrote the What to Expect books with Arlene, and took over entirely when Arlene died. So they live out in L.A., and I don't get to see my great grandchild very often.
Well, they'll be coming back in, and so on and so forth. This looks like a great book. When's this coming out?
It's just coming out right now. It'll be on Amazon, but the best place to get it is mascotbooks.com because they get the books right out to you immediately. It's not expensive. It's only $12, and I've got a couple of grandparent poems in here. I'd like to.
Yeah, read us a grandparent's poem, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Then we're going to eat and have breakfast. It's an early bird for both of us.
Right. Where am I going to find this?
Take your time.
Okay. Well, that's right. You can always edit.
I don't edit.
Oh. Okay.
It's okay. This is life.
Well, one of them is the grandparent advantage. As some of you may know, is when a tantrum starts, you can just get up and go. There are a couple more grandparent stories, poems in here.
But for me, I just want to stay no matter what. It is such a joy to have a grandchild. It is the love of my life. I love those kids dearly. They love me. They're not confused yet on all the silly things. They're good. I'm good with the silly things with them, and
course.
It's just all happiness, you know.
You're a silly guy.
I am a silly guy, you know, no, and you can't take that away from me.
I won't try.
What's good news for you?
Well, the fact that the book is coming out, I think there'll never be any good news. Well, the good news is that there's a guy in my street whom you know, Peter Wallach. And whenever I have a problem with my computer, I just call Peter and he comes right over and helps me out.
And Peter just sits there and reads his books and books and books and books, and he's a friend, and we've talked computer talk. You know, we just have this little street here, and we talk books all the time. You know, 'cause since I interview so many authors, and it's a beautiful thing. So he's good news. That's fantastic. Last question. All right, this is we're very involved with world peace in the sense of what the little we're doing. But there's a day called the International Day of Peace, and we've been doing events in Central Park for the last 13 years. September 21st is the International Day of Peace, and then I created the largest human peace sign in Times Square a couple of years ago, and we did something there. And we got declarations, proclamations from the borough president Brewer here, and then in Brooklyn I did one. So we're very involved with world peace, and it's for the future generations of our kids. So I asked, and my book is called "What Does Peace Mean to You?" And so I've asked thousands of people, "What does peace mean to you?" So Howard, what does peace mean to you?
Peace is just something that when you have you're not worried of. I mean, I would internalize this rather than. There's so many. There are more good guys than bad guys, is what I've always felt in the world. And I just wish that we could turn the bad guys into good guys. But peace is, you feel peace when you're happy, and happiness. I picked up this piece of information years ago from the Menninger Clinic. They say that happiness is something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. And I just recently found someone to love again, so I'm really happy.
Oh, wow.
And I wish that kind of peace for everybody. I'll take a piece of it anytime.
You're a beautiful man. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Paul Slacker signing off here for the good news. Thank you, Howard.